what's up? This is Sifu Cuddle, and in this Kung Fu combination, we're gonna be working with some tiger style. So get your tiger claws ready, and let's go get to work. Okay, so we're working off the retreat on this one. So the first thing I'm gonna do is have my left foot forward, my right foot back, make your hands tiger claw position, pull them back to the waist. We often work from the waist so that it develops a training concept, your mind. You start thinking of punching coming from the waist. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to drop your hand down later, and you're not really gonna do that anyway, just because once you start sparring, once you start fighting, you're gonna keep your hands up, and if you drop them, they're gonna be dropping down to here, not down to here. So don't worry about training yourself the wrong way if you practice with your hands down here. All right. With that said though, I'm going to start left foot forward, retreat back with my left foot to a tauma, stealing horse position. This keeps my shoulder and my hip forward so that as I move back, I don't lose the distance for striking. However, I position my body, I take this away from my opponent so they can't try to take my space. I'm still moving back, but I'm still pressing forward. Okay, so tiger claw 1. Now we're going to do the same thing. So my tiger claws at my hip here. I'm going to step back with my right foot to a ding ji ma bow stance. I'm going to hit tiger claw to the face here. Okay. So again, moving back, planting the foot. Okay. So you have 1, 2. Now we're going to do one more, stealing back with the tauma, just like we did with the first one. Okay. So again, from starting position, tiger claws here. We have 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to step guaima, twisting here, step all the way around. Both hands come up and over, and then I'm going to do a double underhand tiger claw. Obviously, this one we're aiming for the groin. However, if your hand is higher, you can use the palm to hit to the solar plexus, or if you're going to go up really high, we can be grabbing towards the throat or scratch the chin. It's up to you guys on that one. All right, so again, we have 1, 2, 3, step, step, and then come up underneath. Now from here, I'm going to turn, butterfly kick, and then I'm going to step back with my right foot, go to a cat stance, and then raise the hands up, Bok Fu Mong Lo. White tiger looks at the path, okay? So you have that nice position here. Some people like to take the artistic liberty, make this one nice and slow, like they're stretching taffy. You can do it however you like. I personally like to get the hands up there right away, put some power in there, some lifting energy, okay? So again, from here, 1, 2, 3, step, step, underneath, turn, kick, raise. Okay, one more time. Stepping back, 1, 2, 3, step, step, under, turn, kick, raise. And that's it. Okay, so there you have it. Now, I do spend a little more time talking about this technique than I do in other Kung Fu combinations, and that's because tiger style is really important to me. It's one of my favorite animal styles, and I just want to make sure that it's not misrepresented by just the appearance in the video. Of course, in this particular combination, we're doing something more with moving back, doing a fancy kick, and then the hands up. So it has more of an appearance and more of the showmanship style, although these are all applicable techniques. Now, I'm not going to say this is something that you should just only do, but you can take the same concept and apply it and adapt it to whatever combat context you are in. So for example, when we're moving back with the retreating tiger claws, it's all about hip and shoulder position to turn into it. So even though you're stepping back, you're still striking and maintaining pressure on your opponent as they're moving in. Ultimately, the idea on that is to make them plant the foot, make them hesitate, make them miss their timing, and nullify their attacking combination, and maybe even get them while you're moving back. The jump kick is fancy. It's better to stay on the ground, but if the timing's right, it's absolutely a fine thing to do, to jump up and kick. And then this tiger position at the end, we're using it more for the showmanship to represent the tiger. However, it does have its application too. But the main thing is you'd have to follow up with something. You're not just going to sit here with this and expect, to finish your opponent. So you're going to have to follow up with a punch, a kick, whatever, and just get out of there if you're using it in a self-defense context. Now, the last thing I do want to mention is this is not something you would use in combat sports directly. You're not going to do tiger claw positions. But if you just change it to a fist position, it can apply. So moving back while striking is a very important concept, because even though you're taking the pressure, your opponent is moving in, you don't want them to ever feel like they have the advantage. They have control of the situation. So you're using that to disrupt them to set up for your counter technique. And if you're lucky, that is your counter technique. Okay, so I know I talk a lot about these, and like I said, it's dear to my heart. I really love Tiger. If you were my student, you would learn a very progressive way of doing this, and we would start with the movements themselves and then move up to other things. So we would start striking pads so you could learn how to put power into it, have proper weight distribution. Then we would start doing drills where you have to apply these two, in this case, forward pressure. So I'd be moving in on you and you'd have to strike the pad even though, you know, I'm trying to hit you with the pad. And then for the jump kick, for that accuracy, and then for like maybe a double grab to break out of it. And then we would work on elements from more spontaneous positions. So it would be in a controlled setting, but very close to sparring. So it's more of a freestyle way of applying the techniques, not just trying to force the technique to happen, but to find the opportunity to employ it. Okay, so unfortunately, you guys are my students online, so you can only get this first part of it, and the rest you're gonna have to work on your own, but that goes for everything else. That's the beautiful thing about online. You can learn whatever you want, but to be able to really get it down and understand it, you're gonna have to put in a lot more work on your end. Okay, so if you like this video, hit that like button, and as always, be sure to subscribe. Till next time, this is Sifu Kado.
Bye.